The CEO has named her female Mount Rushmore in the wrestling business, and the only surprising thing is she hasn't put Mercedes Mone and Sasha Banks in twice respectively. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, but do not worry. Mercedes Mone, she might not have put herself on the list 4 times, but she can only be so humble, and she's put herself on it once. So yeah, she might not have put herself on it all 4 times. She might not be putting her horse face on all 4 of those platforms, but she has put herself in once. And you know what? Most people don't do that. Most people leave themselves off the Mount Rushmore. Even if they truly believe they're on it, most people just are humble enough to be like, right, okay, I'm giving my version, so therefore I'm not going to include me in it. But I guess Mercedes Mone never really caught that memo. And at this point, I'm just surprised she was able to name another 3 women that weren't called Sasha Banks or Mercedes Mone.
If she had any other personas, she probably would have named them as well. But yeah, sticking yourself on it, I think it's a bit embarrassing. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say if Austin stuck himself on it, I wouldn't be like, well, damn right, you're Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, but Hogan didn't put himself on his.
Yeah. And you know what? It's the correct thing to do, even if you're great.
Yeah, but if anyone had the right to put themselves on their Mount Rushmore, it's Hogan.
No, absolutely. But some people just defend Mercedes, but at least it's a women's Mount Rushmore, I'll say that. Not that it makes it right, but if it was all time, I'd
we've seen some fucking losers like Kevin Owens put women on his all-time Mount Rushmore.
Who did he put on again?
Becky Lynch.
That's fucking downright disgusting, man.
Honestly, see, for a woman to make my Mount Rushmore, first of all, I would need to have slept with her, but the Mount Rushmore would need to consist of like 50 people.
Yeah.
For that to be a possibility.
Aye, yeah.
You're right there.
I understood what you meant. I was wondering what you mean 50, and I was like, alright, instead of 4, it's 50. Aye, I got there in the end.
But for a top 4, I mean, it wouldn't it happen? See that match that Eric Bischoff had against Trish, and if he won, he got to take her back to the hotel. Something like that would need to happen. And I like Trish, but it would need to be something along those like circumstances in order for her to make the Mount Rushmore. It wouldn't happen. But Trish, funnily enough, did make it on Mercedes Mone's Mount Rushmore. And we'll talk about it right now, actually. So this is what Mercedes Mone said when speaking to Sports Bible regarding her top 4 women in the history of professional wrestling. She said, quote, "My Mount Rushmore of female wrestlers is, first I have to choose Manami Toyota, because she is a woman that I used to watch when I was 13 years old and was like, what the hell? Women can wrestle just like the men, but better. She inspired me so much to let me know that I can do this and have the biggest dreams and the biggest goals, and legit, she is one of the greatest women wrestlers of all time. I think number 2 for me would have to be Trish Stratus, because she's just so legendary. She's so hot. She's had amazing, incredible matches, and she's one of the best in the world. Number 3, I'm going to have to choose Sasha Banks / Mercedes Mone, the CEO. Do I really need to say more? I am the Beyonce of women's wrestling for a reason. I really feel like Sasha Banks and Mercedes Mone helped to change the perspective of what women's wrestling is all over the world. My last but not least, this is really hard for me to choose. I have a lot in my head, but I'm going to have to go and say Toni Storm. Toni Storm, timeless Toni Storm, is one of the greatest women characters in all of professional wrestling. She has changed the game in just under legit 2 years. I think she's one of the greatest of all time. I think she's the future of professional wrestling. I'm going to be watching her and being like, can I just be a star like her? End of quote. So, yeah. I think that's a misquote there. What Mercedes at the end meant to say was, people are going to be watching her and thinking, can I be a star just like her? Obviously, Mercedes Mone isn't going to be watching her because Mercedes already thinks she's a star. But that's the 4 people that are on her Mount Rushmore. So yeah, just to confirm them, Manami Toyota, Trish Stratus, Mercedes Mone / Sasha Banks, and Toni Storm. So yeah, that's the 4 that Mercedes has picked. Well, let's talk about it. As Cody Rhodes would say, what do you want to talk about? I'll tell you what I want to talk about. Who the fuck is Manami Toyota.
You see how disingenuous that is about her, right? She's like, oh, women can wrestle just like the men, but better. Well, then it's not just like the men. If you think it's better, then it's just not like them, right? But not the fact that I would never... Here, the men wrestle just like the women, but better. The men are fucking superior in every form than the women, apart from sex appeal. That's it. That's the fucking fact of the matter is this.
Hold up, what age is Mercedes Mone? Can we get...
She's 31.
Yeah, I think she's been 31 for a while. I want to just...
What, a year?
I just want... She's 33, I thought that. I thought she's 33.
Right, well done.
Right, well, she says that when she was 13, she was watching this Toyota chick, and she said she's just as good, if not better, than the men. So that would... 13, that would have put Mercedes Mone in the year 2005. In 2005, Benoit and Guerrero were champions.
2004,
Wait, alright, still, Benoit and
Guerrero... get your fucking facts right, alright?
Benoit and Guerrero, they'd been world champions, alright, within the past year. Benoit and Jericho was competing for the WWE.
I will forget about those three.
No, but
John Cena and Batista, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, Batista, yeah, but people are going to say...
Oh, good.
You could wrestle. Yeah, people are going to bash them, but let's talk about who could fucking wrestle. The Heartbreak Kid, right? Jericho, Benoit, Guerrero, Kurt fucking Angle. You want to talk about technical wrestling? I just don't see at how the age of 13 in 2005, she was watching this Manami Toyota and she thought, wow, she's better than Kurt Angle.
Does she not relate it to Eddie Guerrero? Or she at least...
Relate? No, she wears Eddie Guerrero's tights because that's her favourite wrestler of all time.
Well, how disrespectful is that? Eddie Guerrero's my favourite wrestler of all time, but there's this jobber by the name of... Toyota.
Mitsubishi.
Toyota.
Honda.
You know, that's better than him. How hectic's that? That's no right.
I don't agree. I think she's wrong there. I mean, I'd have to check out this. I might have heard of the name. I might, but I cannot sit here and say that I've watched any of her matches. Couldn't tell you what company she's in. I'm going to take a stab in the dark and guess New Japan Pro Wrestling or All Japan Pro Wrestling or maybe one of their female. I don't know how long has that Shimmer company been about? Is it Shimmer? Is Shimmer the Japanese company?
Shite.
No, what's the all-female Japanese company called?
I couldn't tell.
Stardom, that's the one.
Here and fucking lying.
Nah, I meant Stardom. Shimmer's in America. I don't know, maybe she was in Stardom, I don't know, but I certainly wouldn't describe her as a star. I've never watched a Manami Toyota match. Maybe I will, maybe when I'm bored tonight and I'm on work and I get my lunch break, maybe I'll be like, you know what, I'm going to go on YouTube and watch a Toyota match, but highly fucking unlikely. Number 2, she goes with Trish Stratus. Basically just says that Trish is legendary and hot. I think that's a good enough reason to put Trish on it. Say she's had amazing, incredible matches. I'm going to disagree. I think, Trish might be my favourite female wrestler of all time, but I'm not going to be disingenuous and claim that she's had a lot of amazing, incredible matches. I don't think she has.
No, she's not.
I think she's had some good matches. I think Trish certainly has had some good matches, but Trish, for me, has never had an amazing match or an incredible match. It just hasn't happened. I'd be lying. And I like Trish, and she might be my favourite female of all time, but she's not. I would go. I don't know if any female, in my opinion, has had an incredible, amazing match.
Yeah, because I know they try and pretend now that they're on an equal playing field, man. It's like. You're right.
If you're talking incredible, if you're talking like Shawn Michaels, Angle, Benoit, if that's what you're talking about by amazing and incredible, then for me,
they're not nowhere near it. Couldn't fucking dream of being near.
Or like a match that has like multiple like amazing like TLC, like WrestleMania 17.
Yeah, what's the
female equivalent of that?
What's a women's match with all these iconic moments in it?
So I think Trish has had some good matches in her career, but. Loads of amazing, incredible matches. For me, definitely not.
Nope.
But I agree she should be on the Mount Rushmore. I think that Trish is... I'm not going to say the female version of Hogan. That would be wrong. But I think she could... I think there's a strong case for her being the first name that you should be putting on a female
Mount Rushmore.
And last but not least, she went with Toni Storm. You know what? I think that the women before Toni Storm are not that impressive. I can't really argue and say that Toni Storm's a bad pick. It might be too early to put her on the top of Mount Rushmore. So I personally wouldn't be putting Toni Storm above likes a Trish or Lita. Or, I'd say Chyna's probably done more for the industry. I'd say, well, definitely done more. But in 10 years' time, I think you could look back and maybe make a case for Toni Storm being on it. because she has done some great work. She's been the best female in wrestling over the past 2 years for sure, hands down. Not even close.
No, absolutely.
I mean, if you were doing a Mount Rushmore of the last couple of years, I think it would just be 4 Toni Storms.
It probably would be.
And if you're doing you're doing a Mount Rushmore of this decade, and we're talking men and women, I think Toni Storm's on it.
I agree with
Since
that.
2020.
I'd
I'd make a case that I'd put Toni Storm in the top 4 since the 2020s.
Some of the better promos, some of the better matches, some of the better spots, you name it, man.
I just don't know.
Character work.
I just don't know if she's done enough to be on my female all-time list. But, aye. Anyway, that's it, guys. You got any closing thoughts here?
It's just a shite list, isn't it?
Fire me out some names you'd consider for it that she's never mentioned.
I mean, Lita.
Lita.
I mean, I think China would be on it, personally. I mean, someone like, fuck it. I mean, look at Sable. Look how over Sable was at the peak of the Attitude Era.
Arguably number 2 behind Austin.
Yeah. And you know, wrestling ability. Who gives a fuck about wrestling ability? Honestly, who cares? You know what I mean? I mean, people remember Sable for what she did in the Attitude Era. We didn't even know this person she's put on it existed for her wrestling ability.
That sums it up. Anyway, guys, that's it.
See the woman she put there. Oh, what is it, Toyota? She's closer to Sable in wrestling ability than she is to any of the GOATs in 2005. And that's a fucking fact. And Sable's pish, for context.
Was Sable really that bad? I mean, she wasn't great, but I don't know. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted to see Sable wrestling. Nobody gave a fucking shit. Anyway, that's it. Till next time. Peace.